when the creative forces behind Stargate SG1 adapted the hit motion picture to television. They created endless possibilities for new adventures.
Certainly not Emerald City.
One of the people responsible for dreaming up new worlds and futuristic settings is production designer Richard Hudolin.
When I started on the project, it was mid-October of '96, and I got a call from Jonathan Glasner and Brad Wright. They knew they were going to start filming in January, but there was this tremendous main set, the silo set with the Stargate and the complex and all of that, which was its own design entity. So they hired me to do that. And we had a complete set of drawings. We brought on 15 really smart construction-type people to analyze the set and come back in January and start building it, because we had 6 weeks to build the main set and everything we shot for the movie version of the television movie version of Stargate.
This is just incredible.
There are certain traditions that you have to maintain. One is the Stargate, and you try and match the silo and the military complex, because that's the heart of the show. You're starting there. You're always starting from there or coming to there. That's the house or the home for the Stargate crew. At one time, I still have a set of drawings at my house where the silo has 3 floors instead of the 2 that it has. But we scaled it down, and we figured out what, over the course of the series we would be shooting, and what we in fact needed, and how to get the best look out of it.
Sir!
The key elements, obviously, are the Stargate itself and how that functioned. And I flew to LA, and I gathered some of the material from the movie as reference. I brought it back here, and our model makers and mold makers worked from some of the pieces that I brought back, and I actually integrated some of the set pieces that I got from Los Angeles into the pilot.
In addition to sets seen in the motion picture, Richard designed a medical facility, which can turn into, among other things, Daniel Jackson's laboratory. There's also a multi-purpose room, used for crew's quarters and whatever may be needed. Plus, a second portable Stargate was built for use on location. Because of its size, this gate requires 6 workers and a full day of setup. To accomplish the creative demands of each script, a 7-member art department works closely with decorators, props people, and a construction crew.
We have to be 3 to 4 weeks at least ahead of the shooting crew. And sometimes I walk by and somebody will say, "What are we doing tomorrow?" Or they'll ask me a question. I don't have a clue, because my art director is looking after more of the day-to-day things, as well as working ahead with me.
Love what they've done with the place.
I'm one of the first to get a script. I break it down and I say, this is how I would see us doing it. We do this much interior, that much exterior, this should be a map, that should be whatever. You do a budget as well, because everybody's interested in what that all costs. And from that, you determine with the producers what it in fact will be, and with the visual effects guys and with the model guys. And sometimes it's better, faster, and cheaper to do a visual effect than to try and build something. And we design everything that you see. The art department designs the graphics that you see on the screen. We design the worlds that somebody may point to, or the mat work. It's a real collaborative effort in there. It's not one person saying it's got to be this way. And it's the only way to survive in something like this, because there's, like I say, a lot of very talented people around.
Well, someone's been reading Martha Stewart.
But how does Richard and his team envision new ideas every week?
Some of it's research. Some of it's just imagination. Some of it is, well, you read the script, and like I said, you get to talk to some very talented people. You talk to the writers, you talk to the producers, and everybody has their take on what the world should be. But they're always looking to you to say, well, do me a drawing of what it is. And until it's on a piece of paper, it's in your imagination. And sometimes it's part of a design process where if you let yourself kind of go clear in your mind, you can let things come to you. Or that's how it works with me anyway.
We're not on a planet, are we?
That is correct. It appears we are aboard a Goa'uld transport vessel.
I get lots of research. I have everybody in the art department who are all fabulous take off in their own direction sometimes, and sometimes we just talk about it and ideas pop out of nowhere.
You could fit every pyramid on Earth inside this thing and still have room to spare.
Wonder how far down that is.
I was having a problem with one of the worlds where one of the Nox people goes like this and a world appears, and we didn't quite know what this world was going to be, and we struggled for about a week with it. And I went home and I was reading a book on stained glass, and the combination of the Nox people and what I was reading that night, that's how we put that together. Now stained glass turns into another world, but it's not a stained glass world, it's just an element of it. So you find clues in the strangest places.
Sometimes luck can radically change locations overnight. For the episode Small Victories, part of the story was originally set on a fishing trawler until the producers got access to a real Russian submarine brought to Vancouver from Vladivostok. Instead, they shot 2 days on the sub and built a replica of its interior.
You better go ahead and blow this thing.
Normally, a television series, you've got offices and police cars, and there's standard things that you have to do if you're in this world. We don't do offices, we do worlds, and it's really spectacular because it's so different. It's a big effort every week.
This is well over 1,000 meters high.
And as pyramids go, that's big.
Well, the show and the stories themselves are really good. They're exciting scripts. So you always start with the story, and the acting and the actors are all great. I mean, Richard Dean Anderson has got his own following, and he's a great guy to be around, and he brings a special sparkle to O'Neill, which rubs off on us, because every time I go to a set, he looks at a set, and he's always coming up and saying, "That looks great."
What do you think? It's cool. Kind of like Vegas.
Hopefully what you see around him and the worlds he's in is everybody's imagination showing you things that you've never seen before, and in a very nice, professional way.